Gotta go to Allen County again sometime, hopefully by Friday.
One wires. Look, you have orange from here, you don't stay here, you go try to find someplace else. Then when you
Yeah.
get caught down there, then Gordy has to come get you.
Yeah,
Who partner up with usually?
I
So,
mean, we're about a month out.
some of those times, yeah. Then the one guy that was working part-time, like that gut feeling really bad.
Right. They should put it on their radar.
Yep,
But either or.
so,
Right, hey, there we go. Even better.
what's that? No.
yeah, I'm involved, but I've been off for a week, so I can't do anything else. And I still made a trip to Canada.
All rise, we'll call this Warsaw-Wayne Township Fire Protection Territory meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you remain standing, we'll have a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. You may be seated. Start off with a roll call. Chief Schilling,
Here.
Dave Albritton,
Present.
Mike Klondaris,
Present.
Gordon Nash,
Present.
Jeannie Stackhouse, absent. We have a quorum. First item is the minutes from the July 2nd meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I've read the minutes, and I would make a motion that we accept them as presented.
Thank you. Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Thanks, Dave. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Heather. I want to welcome everybody here this afternoon, including Denny. Hi, Denny. Reports oral and written. Monthly response reports for June. Lutheran EMS is first. Chief, I'll have you help us with this one.
Yeah, so I was recently notified that Alicia was unable to make it due to an emergency with her family. So I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. If there are any.
Give you a few seconds to look at it. This would be the June report. Any questions? Okay, we'll move on to the second report, which is the Warsaw-Wayne Fire Territory Report. Chief?
Yeah, so the Warsaw-Wayne Fire Territory had 327 responses in June. Of those 327 incidents, 115 were overlapping for a total of 35%. We had 17 fire runs for that month. You can see we had a few building fires back to back there for a while. And then moving on, down on the same page, we
What
do.
page are you on?
On the first
It'd be
page
helpful
still.
if you said.
Yes,
if
still
you
on
would
page.
Call out the pages.
Still on page 1,
Okay.
just below the fire calls. We'll point out the assist to the other agencies. So we gave mutual aid to Winona Lake one time in the month of June, and then we received several mutual aid due to some of the fires occurring during some of the structure fires we had. So you'll see some departments in there that typically don't respond into the township come help us out. So those will all include Winona Lake, Atwood, Burkett, Winona Lake and Burkett again, Burkett on another one, Pierceton, Winona Lake, and Leesburg, Sydney, Pierceton, Winona Lake, and Leesburg, North Webster, Winona, and Burkett, and then Winona again, and then Winona and Atwood again. So again, we rely on our mutual aid to help us out, just like sometimes they need us. So very fortunate to have those relationships. Moving on to page 2, in our rescue and EMS calls, it's broken down there per station. And then on the same page, in the middle of the page, hazardous conditions with no fires. Again, just detailed a few of those calls. And then service calls on that same page. And then onto the 4th page, our good intent calls, and then our false alarm calls, and then the special events, which include the CARES calls. So we had 47 CARES calls in the month of June, bringing our district totals to Station 17, 122, Station 13, 120, and Station 15, 38. The department trained for a total of 701.15 hours on various tasks. That was also the period where we had our new hires. So our new hires went through a what we call our 3-week academy to help prepare them and get them some baseline skills. And then once they go out on shift, they would be further trained in more detail. And then for community service, we had multiple scheduled tours at the fire department. And then we also assisted at Mason's Healthcare and held a fire extinguisher training for them. And then we also helped out the 4-H Fair Fire Education Program. And then the other pages below that are just some of the more detailed information if you so choose to look at it. And then all our overlapping calls as well.
Do those numbers, those overlapping calls, does that number continue to go up?
I believe it does. It seems like it's been around the 30 to, I should say lower 20 or higher 20s to lower 30s is where it typically is. But I do think it's starting to tick up. And again, this is the June report. So as we're starting to come into the summer, our calls will trend to go up, and it kind of fluctuates per month.
Just to look on maybe a little bit lighter, so there were actually 2 incidents of people that had to be removed from stalled elevators?
Yes,
2 incidents,
yes, it happens quite frequently.
okay. Thanks.
Yep.
Not here in City Hall.
Well,
Yeah, I believe one of them
does-
was.
One of them was. That's why I don't ride the elevator, yeah. Uh-huh.
Oops.
Yeah.
Never
When they
asked
pulled him
questions.
out, he said, "I'm not getting in the elevator again." Yeah. Uh-huh.
Seems like you had a busy month, Chief.
Yes, it was very busy
Gentlemen.
for the guys, yes. Not, they make me look good, so
Yeah.
kudos to them.
Right.
Busy month.
Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve both reports as presented.
I so move.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay? Ayes have it. Thank you. CARES update. Thank you, Chris.
Just to clarify again, it occurred to me when Chief Schilling's going over June's numbers, these CARES numbers, remember, are a month ahead of that. We do that partially because of the way we have a grant and we apply for reimbursement. So we have to be a little more up to date on our calls. So on this one, you'll note that we had a total of 84 contacts with people in July. 57 of those were in person, 27 phone calls. The vast majority, it seems, we're still dealing with long-term housing, general support, which those include like follow-up visits, just making sure people are following up with their doctor's orders or the appointments that they need to make sure that they get to. But the big one is mental health navigation. And we're spending more and more time just getting people into the system, whether it's inpatient, outpatient, following up with skills coaches. We work very closely with several different folks here in the community to try to make sure people are getting the help that they need. So the ladies work really hard at getting those things done, and we're getting more referrals from other areas as well. Law enforcement continues to give us referrals. This past couple of weeks, we've gotten referrals through some of the county police officers asking us if we can help some of their folks. We try to handle most of those by phone, just so we stay in our area, but Chief Schilling has given us the freedom, if we think it's really necessary, to go out and see someone, we do that if we need to, just to get them on the right track. And then the back of the form, like always, is those interaction categories. I know Mr. Klondaris likes to see those broken out a little bit more, so you can see what that looks like month after month.
And I appreciate it, it helps.
This is all Michaela. I have nothing to do with putting this together, so
She's
she
not
gets
here.
all
Take some
credit for
credit.
this. No. She puts it together, and I come in and present it to you, so
Okay.
that's how that works.
Okay. Seems like your numbers are going up too, Chris. I can remember when we first started this, the numbers were single digits, and then they got into the teens.
Well, and I think we're still planning to, Michaela and Officer Francis are still planning on doing another CIT class in September for other public safety entities in the community to try to get more knowledge out there on how to deal with these things. So, and you're right, our numbers just continue to go up with CARES.
Chris, does the mental health navigation part of the job, does that require, I don't want to say an inordinate amount of time, but does it take quite a bit of time to, get through the paperwork and
Well,
assess the situation?
Well, we try to put these people, if they're willing, we try to put people next to Bowen Center or one of the other counseling services in the community and let them kind of work that out amongst themselves. We try to not get too tied down in doing the paperwork to get them into this stuff, because just like any part of healthcare, the paperwork is part of the
Right.
problem. So we try to just get them into that situation and then kind of let them work it out with whoever they're going to be seeing. But it does, I mean, there are some people that we've seen and that the ladies still go out and visit with that Chief Wilson and I used to go visit with. Just because we have a couple of folks, and I don't want to go into too many details, that used to call us on a every 2 or 3 day basis. And by interacting with them in a CARES role, getting them to the help that they need, now we just kind of meet with them once or twice a month to just make sure they're on track. But there are some of those visits where we're going to just continue to see those people who are just continuing to struggle. We've got people lined up with skills coaches. We have people that we see that have 2 skills coaches so that they can kind of go back and forth. Or if they don't care for one today, they may care for the other one tomorrow. So we try to just put them in touch with those resources as well as we can. We are blessed. I will say that again. The community has a lot of resources to take advantage of. And we, through the CARES program, we certainly try to take advantage of those opportunities. So just more partnerships and more working together.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
and thank you for what you do.
It's, at this point, it's mostly the ladies doing it. With our run volume going up on the other side of
It
things,
takes everybody,
I spend more time doing that. So,
but the numbers just continue to grow.
yes, sir.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it. I'll entertain a motion to approve the report as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve this report.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Operating Fund 2243, expenditure report. Chief?
Yeah, so looking through here, there's nothing out of the ordinary, just the typical bills we have to pay out of there. Nothing stands out on this particular fund to me unless you have any other questions.
Equipment Replacement Fund 4410.
The same thing on this fund. The only thing that I do want to point out is there will be on the first page, near the top is $23,000 and some change there that went to McQueen Equipment, and that was for the ladder truck getting repaired.
Was that the hydraulics issue?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so that was done in June, and it's back and operating as it should.
Good.
Other than that, pretty typical for the territory.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to accept as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
A second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, Chief.
Mayor, do you need a motion on 2243?
No, I actually asked for both those.
That was for both?
Yeah, both, accepting both reports.
Okay.
Thank you. Heather, you got that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for point of order there, Mike, but I think good, we're good. Okay. Item number 4, Resolution 2024-0701, transfer of funds from EMS to Equipment Fund. Chief?
Yeah, so this was, Chief Ansel, again, applied for a grant to purchase a mannequin that we could use for all our advanced EMT skills plus some. So that was a reimbursement grant, so we had to spend $9,118 to purchase it, and this is just, we got reimbursed through the grant and just transferring the money back into our fund.
And it looks like council approved it.
They did, yes, on July 15th.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Heather, thank you.
You can learn a lot from a dummy.
Yeah. This one is very sophisticated. Kudos to Chief Ansel for going after the grant and getting it. We can do a lot of things with it, so.
There is no unfinished business. That'll take us into new business. And Chief, I'm going to give it to you. The first fund related to the 2025 budgets is the operating fund, Fund 2240.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make the territory board aware of our proposed budget for 2025, so I'm going to go over that with you guys. So the first thing you'll see is a letter that I walked in. I apologize I didn't get it on the board pack, but basically it's just a letter letting you guys know that the levy increase was approved and we could go increase to $1.2 million. And then explaining just that levy increase is also only for the operating fund. So kind of broke down what we planned on using the levy for through talks with the mayor's office and council and former Chief Mayo. Even if we were approved for the $1.2 million, we had only planned to spend $600,000 of that and collect half of that. Through some budgeting and items that I felt and former Chief Mayo felt we needed The total use of the levy that we're going to use is $523,000. So we did not use all of that entire levy. And it just breaks it down, and again, I'll go through it in the explanatory sheets, but our physicals for our firefighters is going to be $100,000. Our training, we increased $70,000. It was previously $30,000, and we've increased it $70,000 to make $100,000. So you'll see that on the operating budget that it will be $100,000. CARES grant that we currently have through the FSSA and RCorp, it expires in July, so we, the territory will then start paying their salaries and wages. So we plan on using the levy for that as well. An additional 2 firefighters was planned in that for a total of $220,000, and that is just for their salaries and wages and benefits. We cannot use the levy for their gear because that comes out of the equipment replacement fund. So that's just for their salaries and wages. And then as our equipment is, I don't want to say falling apart, but being ran more and more, the cost of repairs and maintenance continues to go up on our apparatus and then our buildings as well. So we have some issues with Station 13, which is the Center Street station. So we've increased, and we're going to use $53,000 of the levy for that as well. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. So now I will get into the actual budget itself. And I'll mainly be talking on the explanatory sheets. So if you would like to go there, that's where I'll spend most of my time, is talking through them. So again, our salaries and wages is going to be proposed $6 million. It's a increase of 13.46%, and that is an increase due to some things with the city council possibly approving the 2.5% salary increase. And then for us, they increased the longevity for our pensions from 20 years to 25 years. So due to that increase, we do have to pay more in our employee benefits portion under the pension. So that's why you'll see an increase there as well. But that total line item, again, with the increase of the 2 firefighters, will be 13.46%. And I do want to also point out that part of that, through the agreement, since the territory was formed, we pay a third of the clerk's office, HR, and city engineer, and that will be a total of $188,420 for the territory's portion of that. Moving on to the supplies, again, you see an increase for fuel and some operating supplies. The biggest increase for the fuel is we require our firefighters within their 2 to 5 years have a driver operator certification for pumper, which is our engines, our aerial device, and then our mobile water supply, or our tanker. So the last time we did that class, we did not account for the fuel increase of driving the apparatus on the courses, and that's every individual that has to go through that. So you will see an increase in there. And then, like I talked about as well, the station repairs and maintenance going up as well. So you will see an increase in that. Bringing the supplies total up 23.79%. In other services and charges, again, I don't want the 344% increase to shock you. That is the line item where the physicals will come out of. So we have not done this before. The $4,800 that are currently in that line item is for the random drug screens. So we've incorporated that all through one, totaling that to be $100,000, like I discussed through the levy increase. Again, going down in the communication and transportation, training our individuals is huge for us as well. So we increased that to $100,000 as well. And then down a little further in the repairs and maintenance, in that same line of other services and charges, the repairs and maintenance went up as well due to the repairs in our apparatus and our stations. The only other thing in that line item of other services and charges that is new is our award co through the city, where we are rewarding some of our employees for certain things that they do. Their service awards will be paid for through the HR office, but other things that they do that align with the mayoral priorities will be through that. So that is new as well. So bringing the other services and charges total up 72%. But again, the majority of that is the physicals that we plan on doing, and then our training. And then in the capital outlays of the operating budget, specialty equipment is added in there, an additional $15,000. That is for our station mattresses. They have not been replaced in a long time and are getting fairly worn. So we did have to cut that out. I initially had that up a little more, but our plan now is to purchase half of them in '25 and the other half in 2026, if everything goes to plan. So it is a 16.9% increase total in our operating fund, with the majority of that being the levy. So which will bring our operating fund total to roughly $6.7 million.
I really want to thank, and I appreciate the chief's efforts. We've had countless meetings working through this budget. A lot of moving parts with it, with the levy increase, and trying to respect what was shared with the Common Council. Mike sitting on that board as well, to be very careful and conservative using the levy increase. And the chief has been able to come up with just over $500,000. We wanted to make sure that we were, if you remember, Mike, under six, half of it or less. And we really believe it's appropriate. And again, the chiefs worked really hard to come up with the $530,000 that would be above and beyond. Basically, maybe I shouldn't say it that way. Things that need to be done, things that very desirable, but just unable to do it in the past. But we now can do it with that up to $600,000. Overall, looking at the budget, just trying to look in the direction of the territory and the firefighters that are serving and what we're expecting from them. You take the levy increase out, and you're looking at about maybe a 10% increase on their budget. And I think that's a positive thing. And the chief, again, has really tried to respect every tax dollar, but also realizing what are we doing, what do we desire to do. And I really think that this is a very good budget. He's not only proposing to you, members of this board, but also what he'll be presenting to the Common Council here in about 2 weeks. So, Chief, I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
On, under supplies,
Okay.
230, maintenance and repair. In this year's budget, there was $50,000 in the budget for station repair and maintenance.
Mhm.
Have you used that?
Yes. So, and I'll talk about it a little bit in the equipment replacement.
Oh, okay. Didn't mean to jump the gun.
No, you're fine. And you'll understand why when we get into the equipment replacement. And a lot of that was done at Station 17 at the downtown station. We have remodeled that station. If you haven't been there in the past year, I would definitely recommend stopping by. We did new flooring, we painted, we redid the bay, we replaced some doors, all the windows have been replaced. A lot of updates to that station, and it's really nice.
So will the additional 75 in next year's budget go to the same station?
It will go towards a different station.
Okay.
So, and mainly, again, Station 13. We have some major plumbing issues there that we're trying to get through. There's just a lot of repairs in the bay that need done. Just,
Okay, thanks.
yeah, a lot of things that need done there.
Do you need a motion on this, Mayor?
No, these will
Okay.
just be reported. We could at the end, once they're all presented, we could have a motion to approve as presented. Are there any other questions? Again, the explanation sheet is at the end of the formal budget that's presented, and the chief has really done a nice job of showing you where we were in 2024, the 2025 proposal, and then the percent increases. And some of the categories, again, pretty high because of the use of the levy dollars that, you know, the 500 plus thousand. Overall, looking at almost 17% increase because of it. So I think it's, again, like I said a few minutes ago, it's just a good faith effort to present to council here in the coming weeks the needs of the territory and those that serve the territory. The levy increase alone, you look at the 2 firefighters and the physicals, that's over $320,000 right there. And so it's operational and it's looking in the direction of the firefighters in manpower. So, Chief, anything else?
No, I just want to, you made mention that I did a great job with the explanatory sheets. Just a shout out to the admin assistants, Heather and Karen. They're a great help as well. So it's not just me, it's the whole team that makes everything function how it should, so.
Heather,
I don't want to take all the
good
credit.
job. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, good. All right, great, good. Thank you, Chief, for that. Anything else on this budget? Chief, thanks again for the, can I say hours that we've been together
Yeah,
working on it?
I think
Okay,
that's pretty
good.
safe to say.
Yeah, your favorite time of the week,
Yeah.
right? Good. Thank you for that. We have another one, equipment replacement fund. It's 4410. Chief?
Yeah, so again, it's easier for me just to go off the explanatory sheets than go line by line. Kind of along the lines of the station repairs, I just got done telling you that our station 13 needed some repairs. It does need repairs, but then you'll look at this and see that we decreased that. The majority of that is because as we went through Station 13 and looked through the problems, I didn't want to keep the 175,000 like we did in 2024, just to help reserve some of that money there. So we lowered that down to 125,000 there, just due to the fact that Station 17 was newly remodeled. I don't anticipate needing as much to maintain that specific station, so that's why you'll see the decrease in that. So I just don't want you to think I'm crazy on why I just got done telling you that, but then decreased it here. So that's my explanation on that. The debt services, again, Chief Mayo, before I became the chief, chose to lease purchase the new ladder truck. So that payment will come out in 2024, in December of 2024. So you'll see continuation of that lease into 25, with the addition of our air packs need replaced and our SCBAs. So we plan on leasing those as well. And again, that was kind of already done before I got here, but we haven't purchased them yet. But I still would agree with former Chief Mayo on the leasing of those to help extend the life of our equipment replacement fund.
And it's good cash flow.
Yeah. So that's that line item in the other services and charges. And then moving on into the capital outlays, you'll see a decrease in machinery and equipment just due to some of the equipment that has already been purchased or that we will pay out in 24, so it will become off of 24 and onto 25. But I do want to point out that we are going to continue with upgrading our portable radios that we use. The ones we have now are currently out of service, and part of the replacement plan was purchasing 10 of those every year. And then I also would like to upgrade our drone that we use as well and get compatible with the police department, and so we could, swap out parts and work together with the other departments in the city to help everyone. So that's what that is in there. And again, going off of our capital asset plan that we have currently, our dive truck was due to be replaced in 2021. It has not been replaced, and it is time to replace it. It is, we have enough divers that truck really doesn't suit us anymore, and it's definitely time to upgrade that. So we plan on purchasing a new dive truck in 2025. And then replace any of our hose as we have it tested annually. Again, I just want money in there in case we have to replace hose, that it's budgeted in there. And then again, as our gear gets older, we have to replace it every 10 years. We have some turnout gear that's due for replacement. So we added $75,000 in there. And then again, new hire PPE, if we get the 2 new hires. And then also the SCBAs, if there are repairs that have to be done to the ones we currently have, if we don't get them purchased, or if we purchase them and we don't receive them by 2025, I still want some money in there to spend to keep those up and using them, because the cost of parts in those that we have, they're a little older models, so it's getting slimmer and slimmer and harder to replace. So then the capital outlays, you'll see a negative 24.69% on that, bringing the total equipment replacement fund down 18.38% for a total of $1.5 million in the equipment replacement fund.
Chief, I have a question.
Yeah.
And you, Gordy, might remember this because you were here. Chief Wilson, he was working with somebody where we could buy equipment through, I can't remember the name.
Sourcewell?
I believe it was.
Yes. So we still currently purchase or try to purchase all our equipment through Sourcewell, just because we get a better rate, and then
Right.
through that, we don't have to go through the bid process as well.
Right.
So
So when I saw the dive truck on there, the light went on. Is that an item that can be purchased using them?
yes, the company that, again, so as I made the budget, we have a committee that is a truck committee, and then we talked to our dive commander, and all 3 of us sat down and kind of got a general, hey, what are we looking for? I need a general number. We actually found a company that is part of the Sourcewell group.
Okay.
And we found one that was already made, so our truck committee chairman called that company and said, this is what we're kind of looking at with a few changes that fit our community. What kind of price are you looking at? And they felt very comfortable with the $700,000. I personally believe we can come in under that, but again, I leave that to the truck committee to take care of that. They enjoy doing those things and do a great job of getting us the apparatus we need.
So when you use them, do you have to outright purchase it, or do they have a lease purchase?
Nope, they are just, so the way I understood, and Aaron Ott, the city engineer, would probably be a better one to answer this, but I'll give you what I know, but I apologize if I tell you misinformation.
Well, you know more than I do.
But the way I understood, the company has to get vetted, and they get vetted through Sourcewell to become a member of Sourcewell.
Mhm.
And then once they are vetted and Sourcewell says, yes, they meet all the processes, then that allows them to sign on to being a Sourcewell member, which then allows us to do the things and get the discounted
And you said
prices
they are a
through
member?
Sourcewell. And the company that we plan on purchasing the truck through is a member of
Okay.
Sourcewell. And again, I hope I didn't misinform you. I would lean on
I wouldn't.
engineer Aaron Ott to help answer those questions.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were aware of that resource.
Oh, yes,
And-
absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Oftentimes, much better price, Sourcewell, and then our attorney, Scott Royst, during the Board of Works meetings, will make sure that we followed state code. So it's usually a better price, and we're able to navigate through state code to do this, so. Okay. Any other questions connected to this budget? Okay. Chief?
The next one's gonna be the hazardous materials response fund, and then I don't have the number on that one.
I think I do.
I apologize for that. Is it
No, I do not.
2238?
I believe so.
Yeah, 2238.
Thanks, Heather. 2238.
So, this is our hazardous materials fund, response fund. So this is where we, if we have hazardous materials spill, and through Indiana code, there's different ways that fire departments can recoup some of their funds through hazardous material responses. So we do occasionally bill out through, for our services, and then that money that we do invoice for comes back into this fund. And then we can only use this fund for certain things without requesting other permissions. So all our oil absorbent that we use for vehicle accidents or anything like that come out of this fund. So we have $1,200 in there. And then you will see an addition this year that we normally don't buy equipment out of it, but we have enough in that fund to purchase a mini ray meter, which goes with the current system that we have, that if we do have a hazmat call, we can meter and get a little more specific to certain chemicals with this meter than what we can with our other metering equipment, excuse me. So that is $5,300. So again, you will see that go up $5,300 for a 441.67% increase.
How many meters would you get for that? How many?
That is
do you
just
know?
one.
Just one meter?
Yep, that is just one meter. Currently, every engine has a meter,
Mhm.
and our rescues have a meter. So total, we have about, I believe, well, this and the battalion chief has several meters that were purchased through a grant through EMA. I believe they're actually the LEPC committee's meters, but we have them. They hook up to a computer.
Right.
We can set them out all over and monitor a huge area,
Right.
and all read it at the incident command post on that computer. And
Right.
and this meter fits into that system as well. So
Okay.
we want to make sure that we're staying compatible
Software, right.
with that
Yep.
system.
Thank you.
Would this be grantable?
I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
much about this meter. I leaned on Aaron Bollinger was the one who did the report on that. And again, he kind of specializes in our meter stuff. I'm sure it could be at some point, but
That'd be nice.
we would still
we could
like
get a
it. So
grant.
if we could get a grant, I would gladly use grant money. But
Yeah.
if for whatever reason we don't have a grant, I would still like it in our budget to head that way and purchase it, or have the ability to purchase it.
Any other questions on this one? Chief, that'll take us to the next one, which is the fire pension.
Yep, and it's gonna be 8801.
Thank you.
For your information. Again, this is, I don't know a lot about this fund, but this is the pension fund for before we were in the current 77 fund through the state that we are in. So this was back when the city still managed their own pension fund as well. So you'll notice a decrease in there due to the death of some of the widows. There are a few members that are still paid out of this fund, but the majority of this fund is paid out to the widows of our retirees. So that number is set. They get a certain percentage of their salary. And again, you will see the salary increase on that, because when we get a raise or when we get an increase, the pension members also do get one as well. So you will see a little increase in that with the 2.5% increase, and then the increase from the 20-year to the 25-year But again, there was a couple deaths in there, so you will see a negative 4.66% decrease in that fund for the personal services total. The office supplies, we kept the same. The other services and charges, we kept the same, for a total of $262,514 proposed in 2025, with a decrease of 4.58%.
Chief, in personal services, you say there was an increase?
A decrease. Well,
Because that's what my paperwork shows, a decrease.
yes,
You said-
there's a decrease, but the actual pay down below, right below the personal services total,
Mhm.
there was an increase in pay for the 2.5% to those widows and members that are still receiving funds from this pension, because when we get the increase, they get the increase.
Yes.
So that, I apologize if I misspoke there.
But the numbers of people receiving those are going down.
Yes, correct, that is
Hence
correct.
the decrease.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Four budgets were presented, and again, I really appreciate the chief's efforts working with my office and in the near future, working with the Common Council to get these budgets approved. Are there any questions on any of them? Okay, with that, then I'll ask that, or I'll entertain a motion to approve these budgets as presented for consideration to the Common Council here in 2 weeks.
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion to approve as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion, questions? Chief, anything?
No,
Thanks
thank
for-
you guys.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
hard work.
All right, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay? The ayes have it, Heather. Thanks, Chief. Item number 2.
Mayor, before we move
Yep.
on, I just want to make a note to you that in tab, unless there was one of them, there was no worksheet in the council budget book that I picked up. So if I don't have it, the others won't have it.
I will check.
And I'll tell you what one it was.
Was it of these
Unless
4?
I'll look, continue on,
Okay.
I'll make sure.
All right, now I can check them too. Thanks. Okay. Anything else? Okay, we'll move on to item number 2, which is opioid settlement matching grant, permission to apply. Chris, thank you.
So we're asking permission to apply for a grant through the same DMHA FSSA group that we got. One of the 2 grants we're utilizing right now to pay for Michaela's salary and benefits. We were lucky enough to receive $370,000, somewhere in there, I think, this last time through that grant. What we applied for, and the reason we're asking after the fact, and I do apologize for that, but we were made aware in about mid-July of this opportunity, and it had to be submitted by the end of July. It is a zero match grant, and obviously, if we were lucky enough to receive this grant, we would come back and ask your permission to accept it. So there is still that opportunity. If you guys don't feel good about that, then obviously we wouldn't accept the grant. But it is zero matching, and what I applied for was to cover the cost of both of our CARES ladies for all 3 years of the grant. And then also, in talking to Chief Schilling, we thought we utilized Karen Smith quite a bit in the office doing website maintenance and some other things that she helps with the CARES program. So we actually asked for 25% of her pay and benefits over that same 3 years. So I believe the total ended up being somewhere in the area of $680,000 is what we actually applied for. Again, it's a zero match grant. I don't know when they're going to award those grants. But we believe that the CARES program has become a very good service that we're providing, and we want to continue to do so, but we want to find a way that it's a little easier on the fire department's budget and on our local taxpayers, so that if we can get a grant to do that, we're going to pursue that opportunity with your permission.
Absolutely.
So looking for permission to apply, which is in the works, and be prepared to accept or consider acceptance based on what we're awarded or told. I will need action. I'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Is
Approve
there
that,
a
absolutely.
second? Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any more comments, Chris?
No,
Thanks
sir.
for work here. All right, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Next item, travel requests.
Yeah, sorry, Mayor.
No, go ahead.
We just have, again, some firefighters that are going to travel, along with some of our admin staff. The first one you'll see is EMS Chief Chris Fansel to attend the District 2 planning meeting. This is also a healthcare coalition meeting where they work with different hospitals and things like that when it comes to disasters and stuff. So Chief Fansel would be going to that. Fire Marshal Williams is doing a few classes for his fire investigator. So those are in there as well. Aaron Bollinger is attending the Kosciuszko County CIT training that the CARES team is assisting with and putting on. So I'm excited for more of our members to attend that training as well. To keep up our instructor certification, there are different continuing education requirements that we have to have, so Aaron Bollinger has asked to go to that in Fort Wayne. And again, with EMS Chief Fansel doing more health and safety stuff for the fire department, for him to go get his health and safety program manager certification as well. And then Aaron Bollinger again requested a travel to go to Hazardous Material Incident Command class in Plainfield, Indiana.
What is CIT?
Critical incident training.
Crisis intervention.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the way I understood, and Chief Fansel, please correct me if I'm wrong, that is for, as we go on those, as the fire department personnel, get on scene of those, training us to know what to do until CARES can arrive to assist us so we don't escalate the situation more.
When we did when the ladies and Officer Francis did the class in the spring, we actually just did law enforcement. And we've had occasion now where an officer even will get on scene and ask for a CIT trained officer to respond, because we gave them some different ideas and concepts and thoughts and different connections so that they can deal with those people a little bit better and have a more positive impact on the situation. This next class is going to be open to all public safety. So we're going to have police, fire, EMS, some other folks in the class. So, and exactly like Chief Schilling said, that's all this is that initial de-escalation. What can we do to help and get people to where they need to be? A lot of other communities, that's part of, there's certain police officers on patrol at all times that are CIT trained to deal with those situations. We've kind of stolen that idea from Allen County. They have that. And so that's our goal in dealing with the sheriff's office and local PD, is to have somebody around that's trained a little bit better.
So Officer Bollinger would go to this class and then come back with the information and train our people?
The class is actually held at Warsaw PD. So I'm not sure what the travel request was for, but I don't know. I don't know. The class is a week-long class, and it's held at Warsaw Police Department's training center. And he'll just attend the class all week and have this knowledge, and then as we go out and deal with somebody who's not having the best day, he'll be better trained to deal with that situation until we can get CARES there or whatever that looks like. Yes, sir. I hope that explains.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
as always, thank you.
Any other question?
You know, this training is always so important. I mean, you just can't get enough of it. I'd make a motion that we approve these travel requests as presented.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion or questions? I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. That takes us to other matters. Meeting review, visitors' questions or comments. Any questions or comments from anybody? Thank you.
Just really quickly, and I warned Chief Schilling I was going to bring this up. The 17th and 18th of this month, the Project Ebenezer folks are sponsoring a pickleball tournament in Winona Lake. And the proceeds for that tournament are going to go for first responder mental health. So I would encourage anyone who's available to at least try to attend that. There's going to be some opportunities for food and games for kids and things for other people to do. I don't play pickleball, nor does anybody want to see that, so I'm not going to be playing, but I will be down there helping out. Their goal is to just focus on and have the financial means to help first responders and take care of mental health for the first responders in our community. So last I heard, I think they had 70-some teams that were signed up. It's going to be 2 days of pickleball, so I'll probably understand the game by the time the tournament's over, I would guess. But I just wanted to say that out loud so that everybody's more aware that that's going on in our community. And I think we're lucky to have that. I need to say that as well. I think that's good stuff.
Thank you. Anyone else? I do want to thank your attendance and the others for a while. Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, we're adjourned. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thanks for coming, guys. Mayor, 4410.